Hey guys, I'm back with another Sparks update, so let's get started. So it finally happened, Surging Sparks has officially recovered. The price is now $245 on TCG Player, and all the cheap boxes have been bought out. You see this little spike over here. 20 boxes bought compared to just fewer boxes bought the last couple of days. Actually, these numbers look a little lower than before, so I wonder if some listings were removed or something. But yeah, 20 boxes were bought, and yeah, I've been saying it for a while. Hey, like there were a bunch of like 200, like 210 to 220 boxes for a while, but the number of cheap boxes were slowly going away over time. And look at the history, yeah, a lot of the this is like the 230 boxes, and there's a lot of like the 220 boxes over here. There are bots. You see some people already buying boxes at 250 or 260. So and now the lowest procs you can buy is at 245, and honestly, like it looks like it's heading toward 250. So there's 245 here, then it's 248, then 250. So and then even like 260 is not too far away. So maybe we'll finally see Surging Sparks reach a new high. Before it didn't really break 260 before, but yeah, we'll kind of see. But yeah, definitely, this graph doesn't even show everything. Like this goes up 230, but you pretty much see the recovery over the month. Like it's been less than a month since all these reprints happened. Um, on around May 20th, the price around about 240, and then we had this roller coaster. And now we've already recovered. So Surging Sparks, great recovery. Great if you got some when it was cheap, because yeah, I said like the price just didn't really make sense. Like I know like as far as a temporary thing, it kind of makes sense. Like yeah, the price goes down because of reprints, but it's just such a better set than some of these other boxes. And people like a lot of people have not opened Surging Sparks because it's just been so expensive, and so people want to open it. Um, yeah, demand numbers have been great. So 20 were bought yesterday, 4 are bought today. So that's one of the big things. And now, like when I look at the pricing, like it just beats Obsidian Flames. It's still cheaper than Paldea, um, and it's still cheaper than Twilight right now. So it's kind of where it is in the rankings. Okay, so what else? As far as demand today, so I have the demand numbers over here. So what else was bought a lot? So Paradox has bought 6 of them, and then SD Base also bought 6 today. So those are kind of the next number higher numbers. So let's look at those. So SD Base bought 6, so the price recovered back from 194 to 201. And yeah, you see over here there's 3, but then when you look at the listings, you see 2 more over here. So it helps the price recover back to about 200. We're starting to see it can go back to a little more to 205 and 207 because there's like these 4 boxes here and it goes over there. There are some cheaper boxes over here with some picture listings, but that doesn't really get reflected in what the T-Super list over here. But yeah, supply is starting to slowly go away, so which is good for SD Base. It keeps going below 200, but it keeps kind of recovering back. It's interesting how the 2 boxes that are bought the most were actually kind of the most hated boxes out of all the um, out of all the Scarlet Violet sets. Like out of all the ones that people have the least interest in generally, except for like Sporadic Period, like they're curious about it, but as far as like interest, like I'll pass. The ones that people have that reaction to are SB Base and Paradox. So Paradox has bought 6 today. The price went up by $1. See that over here after having 0 sales the other day. And yeah, I think I saw 5, and then there was like 1 over here in the picture listing. And when I look at that, there's only 1 box left at 208, and this is about 212. So it does go back to like the 2 like above 210 range. So Paradox could be rising up a little, or like it wouldn't be too surprising if it went past 210 in the next day or so based on that. There are some cheaper ones over here in these picture listings though for about 204. Okay, and then the next boxes that kind of were bought more was Stellar Crown and Temporal Forces. So Stellar Crown, there's a little something that most people will not notice. So I noticed yesterday that there was like a ton of Stellar Crown at like the 216 price, and the numbers decreased. And the main thing that was interesting is the breaking code. I saw like I'm pretty sure I saw like 24 here yesterday. It's all the way down to 11 now. I feel like that they removed some of the boxes. um, because there are only three Stellar Crown boxes were bought, and I guess that there's four. I didn't. Actually, this one was today. Um, but yeah, that helps the price possibly go up because going from the 20 boxes to closer to like 10 or 15 boxes is a big difference. Yesterday was probably about like 25 to 30 boxes, so that does help. Otherwise, there are a bunch of sellers selling around 215 or 216, preventing it from going back up. For temporal over here, temporal unfortunately, um, oh wait, actually, I totally miscount. Oh yeah, bought and then one today. So yeah, three was bought within the two total days. So temporal went down, kind of finally. It's been at 219 for 4 days. And I was kind of surprised it didn't really drop because there hasn't been like much activity. And finally, people got tired and they listed some of the cheaper boxes, and it's actually like quite a few sellers. So there's like Pokebrook, one box over here. There's been this frequently this picture one for 215. There's this one for three boxes for 217, and this is let's see 12 plus that's about 218. Um, yeah, there's just a couple of cheaper boxes available. It's not like a huge decrease or anything, but yeah, somehow Temporal Forces has been pretty strong. It doesn't have the price fluctuations that Paradox and SC Base have been having. Um, Even though honestly, it's people say they like Temporal. I'm kind of iffy about it, but like it's still definitely kind of like so. It doesn't have like the 151 effect where it has like a lot of the old Pokemon, which doesn't really help it. At least in their normal forms. And that's why a lot of people like open things like Obsidian Flames and Stellar Crown. But yeah, it's been interesting how it's been pretty stagnant. Even though people say that SP based on Paradox are actually safer investments because they don't expect reprints of those boxes, Temporal Forces could still be reprinted. Although out of all of them, I feel like Temporal Forces like needs to be reprinted kind of least. Like Surging Sparks and Twilight, people would probably want more of those. And Stellar Crown, people like that, so we'll kind of see on that. Um, Twilight Masquerade 2 bought today, and it's kind of in the same place as yesterday, unfortunately. So there were like these 6 boxes over here from Crystal Hero cards at 260. Um, and it was kind of preventing the price from going back up to like 67 where it was before. And the 2 boxes bought. Someone bought like a 282 box for some reason, and there's one cheaper one at 235. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with Twilight. It's still stuck over here. Until these boxes go away, then it can't really rise back up. Okay, and then Paldea's still looking good. I probably should have talked about that earlier. But Paldea sold one today and one yesterday, so the demand's kind of iffy. But the potential's still there. So like there's a couple of boxes at about 203 or 204. These 3 boxes here, and it does go. This is like 207 and then 307 and 309. And it's just like a nice little price appreciation. So it kind of takes someone to buy a bunch of these for Pradeo's price to go up. I don't know how much it'd be sustained, but it's not like a ton of sellers at this lower price, about 303. So I'm just keeping an eye out for that. Obsidian Flames, yeah, one bought yesterday, one's bought today. It went down by about $1. It kind of fluctuates a lot, honestly, in like the 240 to 245 range. So yeah, it's been kind of there's been a lot of people trying to sell about 245, so it's not that surprising that there's a couple of listings at around 244. Okay, I think that's all of those. Okay, and then for Sword and Shield, interestingly, the one that's bought the most is Battle Styles. So the price didn't really change at all, but 8 of them were bought. So if I go to Battle Styles, yeah, 4 are bought today, 4 are bought yesterday. See the 4 here. People just bought a lot of the cheaper boxes, I feel like. And the price has still been very stagnant at 206 or 207, but I don't know. Someone people had an inkling to buy Battle Styles all of a sudden. Let's see, Vivid Voltage also had one sale, and it went down by $2. And the only other box that had any sales was Chilling Rain, so it had one box sold and then some loose packs sold. So if you look over here, you see I think I filtered it. So, yeah, 36 packs for about $300, and a one box for 425. And yeah, for Jelly Rain, it's still stuck around this 420 to 425 mark over here. So it's just relatively stable right now. It's not really dropping, but it's not really going up anymore. So that's kind of so. I didn't really notice until, like, I guess the prices have, it kind of makes sense based on the recent pricing. But yeah, Fusion Strike has had like just this little gap of demand, which usually there's like at most a 2 day gap, but there's one, two, three. There's a 3 day gap now, and like I know that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but the only other 3 day gap this whole month was just in this May 21st to May 23rd. So I'm wondering if this will like go up. I think the price of Fusion Strike did go down. It did go down by $3, and yeah, it still hasn't really quite hit. Like, I'm not really sure when it'll hit the bottom. It needs some sort of recovery sign for me to know when. But like a lot of these boxes haven't really had great recovery signs. Like, Fusion Strike has dropped and continues to drop. So has Brilliant Stars. So has Astral Radiance. Also Origin has some okay signs. Silver Tempest has some okayish signs. And Chilling Reigns has some okayish signs. Even Evolving Skies, it's been like very stagnant around its price. But yeah, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, those boxes, I'm not really sure when they'll reach their bottom because they're the three boxes that keep going down. Um, yeah, Evolving Skies hasn't really had any sales. Like I had some picture listing things, but if you ignore those, I had these two sales here. But otherwise, like this whole month, it's been pretty slow for Evolving Skies. Yeah, Brilliant Stars is stuck around 390 over here. There's quite a few boxes. Like there's 5 boxes here. Astral Radiance, some pretty stuck. Lost Origin. Let's see. Astral Radiance did go down another $5. Lost Origin is still stuck around the 510 price, unfortunately. So it lost a lot of its recent gains. And there's a lot of people selling around like 510 to 515. Like they could get bought up, but it might just go back down, to be honest. Silver Tempest, um, it's still kind of its part where it's at 345 and it could go to 350 if demand picks up. But the ladder is kind of slow. Like a lot of these prices are very similar. Like the spread of 345 to 360 isn't really a big spread. And then the other boxes didn't really have any activity. But yeah, like let me know what you think. When do you think like these three boxes, Fusion, Brilliant, and Astral, will finally start rising again, or at least like stop dropping? Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.